Hello, my name is Yuval Shachar. I'm a managing partner at Team8, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about Team8's special model for company building. Company building is hard. When you start up with a company, there are a lot of challenges before you figure out what your market is, what your product is, and who are your customers, how they will buy your product. And it's been getting harder and harder to get everything right from the get-go. Complexity is increasing, so there are so many companies innovating and putting new companies' products into their customer networks. The technology generations are becoming shorter and shorter. So if 10 years ago you would build a product and it would be installed and deployed and stay in your customers' networks for 10 years, now sometimes it's as short as 3 to 5 years, and you have to innovate, build a product, take it to market, install it, just knowing that in 3 to 5 years it's going to be replaced again. You don't have a lot of time. You don't have a lot of room for errors as you build your product. And to get it right, you need to figure out the right features, the right positioning for the customer, the right integration for your product when your customers will use it. And those risks are the typical risks that end up killing startups when they start out in the wrong direction. So I typically say that the main buckets of risk early on are market risk, technology risk, and team risk. And with less and less margin for error, you have to get them all as right as you can. Otherwise, there will be other competitors that will get it right and will beat you to it, and you won't have enough time to correct your mistakes. Basically, Team8 has built 3 main assets that allow us to de-risk the company building exercise and convert a lot of this early market technology and team risk into execution risk, which is a risk that you control and you can affect more directly. The first asset that we've built is our own platform team. And our platform team at this point is 50 people strong and growing. We have a very deep technology background, and it stems from the Israeli 8200 unit. It is the unit in the Israeli army that deals with cyber and technology. And in Israel, every person at the age of 18 has to go to the army for 3 years. The 8200 unit these days has the first pick in the draft. This means that the army lets 8200 pick first, and they pick the top 1% of the talent that they think are the smartest, most innovative, out-of-the-box thinkers, hacker types, and bring them into a unit where they get trained on the job, work with people as talented as they are. And for the next 3 years, they will be gaining a lot of experience and knowledge and know-how. And after 3 to 4 years, they will finish their army service and will go out into the Israeli ecosystem. And typically, since they're so innovative, they will start companies. And a lot of this constant flow of talent from 8200 type units in the army into the Israeli ecosystem drives a lot of the high-tech growth in the country. At Team8, we started because Nadav Tzafrir, my partner, was the general running the entire 8200 unit. And with him, the core leadership team of the 8200 unit is part of the founding team of Team8. And so we understand well how to innovate. We understand well the process of aligning a lot of very deep technology talent to solve really big problems. And we also like to say that if 8200 has the access to the top 1% of the talent from the entire country at the age of 18, we have inside information and we know who are the top 1% performers within the 8200 unit. So if you will, the top 1% of the top 1% of the talent. And when you get those kids into one room to solve a big problem, amazing things happen. And so we work to map, track, and attract this talent to come build companies with us. And we assume that if we solve or try to solve big enough technology problems, they will be intrigued enough to come in and work to solve them and make a big impact on the world. And this is, in a way, how we de-risk some of the team risk in the early stage startups that we build. But we also have our own deep technology team led by the former 8200 CTO, that has capabilities for research, technology, development, prototyping that we use early on when we build companies. We have a very strong go-to-market business development, sales acceleration team that works with our potential founders as we start building our companies and set on a journey to figure out the right course for them. And we have teams that provide a lot of the back-end services for all of our companies, like finance, so that they don't have to deal with it early on and focus on the product that they're building. Our own team is a set of partners that bring in a lot of domain knowledge, along with a lot of professionals in different domains that accelerate and help us build our companies. The second asset that we've built, we like to call the village. And we call it the village because we say it takes a village to build a company. And the village members are essentially strategic stakeholders in Team8 in our platform. Typically, those village members will invest in the company and invest in Team8 as a platform. And we have general tech giants like Microsoft and Intel and Qualcomm. We have financial giants like Citibank and Scotiabank and Barclays and Moody's and Munich Re. We have just large enterprises like Airbus and like Walmart. It's a very diversified international set of stakeholders. And we often work at the CEO level, sometimes the board, sometimes or almost always with the executive teams. And unlike a vendor that comes into those companies to sell a product, we come in to say, we're more of a think tank. Here are the big disruptions we think we're coming. Here are areas where your stack is going to get flattened and you have to reinvent yourself. In a world that's going through a digital transformation, where everything gets digitized, everything gets interconnected, everything moves to the cloud, it creates a lot of opportunities, it creates a lot of challenges, it definitely creates a lot of disruptions. And so we work closely with those members to think about the next areas we should focus on. And we typically come together in different formats to interact with them. This is an example of a CISO and CIO delegation that we host once a year in Israel. We get over 100 of the chief information security officers from the largest companies in the world to spend 5 days with us. We don't sell them anything. We brainstorm with them, we educate them, we allow them to interact with real attackers, with other types of companies that they would never otherwise meet, and with each other. And out of this, a lot of new ideas come out and great relationships get forged. And with the last year of COVID, we've had to do some of this electronically and over Zoom. But we never lost momentum. In fact, over Zoom, we've had even larger sessions with breakout rooms and a lot of the ability to handle life in a COVID work from home situation for those professionals was facilitated because they could exchange views and best practices with their peers, which is something that we help facilitate. The third element of our secret sauce is our own process. And we typically go through a fairly rigid process with 3 main events. We call those events gates because it's like a gate. We come in and present to an audience a synthesis around the company that we're building. And if we have conviction that we're doing the right thing, the gate will open and we'll go on to the next stage of the journey. If there isn't sufficient conviction, then we go back and rethink some of the issues. And in those gate events, we typically have about 60 to 70 C-level executives, so top executives from our village members. And those would be the CIOs and the CISOs, but also chief technology officers, chief data or digital officers. We have a diversified crowd, and we invite this crowd to shoot holes at pretty much everything we say. We want to make sure we get it right, and we like the fact that the village in a way keeps us honest. And if you look at this process, in a way, the biggest customers or potential leaders in a market that we're innovating in comes together with us in a process that eventually will build companies that by design would be relevant for them. So instead of building a company with a product and then going out to try and knock on doors of large customers, those large customers participate with us in the process of defining what it is that they need. And then by design, by the time we finish the process, they become large customers and advocates of what we've all built together. So in a way, Gate Zero is focused on only one thing, which is problem statement. We take as long as we need to formulate a problem or a disruption or a potential innovation that can change the world. We in a Gate spend about 3 hours presenting all aspects of the problem, from a market to a technology perspective to any other issues. We want to make sure we understand the problem correctly, fully, and we want to make sure that everybody agrees that this is a problem worth solving. So if we can solve it, it could lead to a category-leading company that would drive the solution into the market. And if we get that conviction, we typically spend another 6 months and end up at Gate 1, where we present solution architecture. So before we go out and build it, we want to make sure that the way we're thinking about solving the problem, the way we're thinking about architecting the solution, is a way that the large customers would be able to integrate, operate, and manage. And if, again, we have conviction in the room that we're thinking the right way about the solution architecture, we will come back typically 3 to 6 months later and say, here's the company. And here's the company means here's the initial team. Here is the product as we've helped shape it over this process. Here's the pricing strategy, the partner strategy, the channel strategy, the fundraising strategy. And by then, we have a pretty mature, well thought out company. And if you look at the main risk areas that I mentioned early on, we de-risk the market risk, which is often the biggest risk, by working with the market to help shape what we build. And we de-risk the technology because we have some of the best technologists in the world that help us prototype and think around impossibilities and create solutions. And we de-risk the team aspect by sourcing the best talent in Israel from the technology infrastructure that the Army has helped shape to help build our companies. And combined, it doesn't eliminate risk, but it makes sure that at least if we set out to build this company, we have a clear idea of what we're doing, why we're doing it, who will buy it, how it will get used. And from there, we start the regular company building journey, and we'll go raise capital, typically in Silicon Valley, and get the company going. And so far, we're in our 13th or 14th company journey. We started about 7 years ago. We've already had 3 of our companies get acquired and just announced our first unicorn. And so every time we repeat the process, we try to learn from our mistakes and make it better going forward. With that, if you look at the momentum and the flywheel, we started about 7 years ago with the leadership of 8,200. And since we had such great, credible people on board, we could attract our first strategic investors into our little village, which attracted our first set of founders, which allowed us to build our first set of companies, which ended up being successful. And we could attract even stronger talent on board. Some of the chief technologists from Citibank who were in our village joined our platform. Admiral Mike Rogers, the former director of the NSA, joined us as an operating partner. And with that, we extended our village. And with the extended village and the stronger team, we could bring in even stronger, ambitious founders like Professor Shafi Goldwasser from MIT, who is a Turing Award winner, or Derek, who was the CISO of Moody's. And we're building a joint venture with Moody's now that Derek moved into our Team8 offices and is running as a CEO. And with that, we're reaching out to build more ambitious companies. And with our flywheel gaining momentum, we've decided to replicate this into another domain and are building the exact same capabilities now in financial technology. And so we were joined by an amazing team. Rakefet was the CEO of Bank Leumi, which is the largest bank in Israel, or she made it so. along with Yuval, the founder of Payoneer, and Ronen Assia, the co-founder of eToro. Both companies are multi-billion-dollar unicorns that they founded. And combined, there are partners building companies along the same process in fintech domains. And so with that, we extended the village with more stakeholders in that domain. We've brought even more ambitious founders. We're building now companies that could rely on enterprise and fintech, and we leverage the broader partnership. And on top of that, we've then built a venture capital capability that would allow us to also source and invest in the best of the companies in Israel that are relevant to our domains and that operate in areas where we're not building a company. And we've already done over 10 investments, bringing in our initial deep due diligence capabilities to validate the companies. But also, we put the entire platform team to work for those companies once we've invested, hoping to improve their chances of success. And with that, we're also able to bring more and more value to our village by intersecting more and more relevant companies for them. And so with that, between our foundries that operate in different domains along the same process of 3 gates, going from problem statement to solution architecture to building a company, and a Team8 capital structure that allows us to invest in other companies in those domains that we know really well, we're starting to create a larger portfolio of companies that work together as one family and by design, try to solve bigger problems, bring in bigger masses of critical technology talent to help solve them, and hopefully create better and bigger outcomes. We've been doing this for about 7-8 years, and we will continue to expand our model as we go along. And I hope this was a relevant and interesting overview for you. Thank you very much for your time.